Hello all, welcome to Some Dialogues, the truth behind. Today we have one more very special guest who is from Reform UK, and he is an active campaign manager for Discord Advantage. And let us welcome Kieran to our studio. Hi Kieran, how are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
Super. So can you please introduce yourself to our audience, please?
Yeah, no worries. I'm Kieran Collins. I'm the campaign manager for the Didcot Unwanted branch of Reform. I'm here in a personal capacity, so I'm not representing Reform, but I can obviously give a bit more insight to what we do locally.
So I hope you have seen our first podcast with Steve.
I have, yes.
Steve Wallingford. And what was your comments on that? Like, how do you feel it? Is it good?
Yeah, it's good start.
And
good first podcast.
Yeah, and I'm going to ask the same first question to you as well. Why anyone basically should go and then vote for Reform in our next general elections?
Why? Generally speaking, I think we're the party of the working people. We want people to get rewarded for the work they do. We love our country, which I'm not sure the rest of our parties do. We love everyone in it. Everyone who has contributed to it.
Yeah.
I think at the moment a lot of people are feeling that the system is unfair in a lot of ways, whether or not it's immigration benefits, criminal system. And I think we are the best placed party to try to make a difference and change it.
Okay. So what is the basic difference between other parties and Reform?
I think at the moment we're probably the only party that you could say is socially conservative. We want to reform, obviously, a lot of things in our system, including the name. So, immigration's too high. Illegal immigration is too high. I don't think any country really wants to reward people breaking into your country. We want a fairer system across the board. Okay. So, if you're getting up and you're working, you're not subsidising someone else. We obviously believe some people are going to need help, and there's always going to be a time at some point where you will need help from other people. But it's unfair that you and I go to work and we're basically paying for someone else to have a better lifestyle than we have. I think when it comes to justice and like the criminal courts and the way it's happening at the moment, fluff my words a bit there. But I think when it comes to law and order, is probably the best way to put it. We are the only ones who actually want tougher sentences, want criminals to stay in prison if they've broken the law. We are the only ones who are actively campaigning on that. We'd get rid of these police and crime commissioners, and we'd try to bring down the costs so that we can get more police officers actually on. And socially, I think we are the only country, like the only political party that actually wants Britain to succeed.
Okay.
I think if you look at Labour, Conservatives, especially over the last few years, they've basically sold our country down the river, socially, culturally. In some ways, you could probably even say like we've sold our generation, like future generations down the river, all for GDP and what looks like a nice figure on paper, which a lot of people don't actually understand. They just like to be able to say we've grown the economy, regardless of if everyone's getting poorer and poorer.
See, I'm a British Indian. Okay. And I'm convinced a few years ago that Reform is the party which can actually reform. Now, there is a big Indian diaspora in UK. Okay. More than maybe close to 2 million people. I'm not representing all at this particular point in time, but a set of I'm a Hindu in practicing Hindu. Now, we do have around 1.96% of Hindus currently all over the UK. Sikh as well, because I don't feel anything different than them. So if we add up Hindus and Sikh, because I can understand their pulse, so they will normally vote for the party which actually stands for all, not just for them. Same rule for all, same law for all. So they don't want anything special, but they want to be on the same grounds as all. but not giving any special priority. We don't want any special priority. Now, for an Indian diaspora, what should be your message, and what do you want to give a message so that we can convince more and more Indians just think about reform? Because currently Indian vote is shared. Some part, I think very less part goes to Labour, but Tories and Lib Dem, they basically share most of the stuff, most of the vote bank. Okay, but as I convinced, I can see more will be on the same line as me. So if I ask you, can you give a message to the Indian diaspora, like what exactly reform thinks about specifically for the Indian diaspora?
Yeah. So I think the tagline of reform says it all. It's family, community, country. And I come from, like, all my family are Irish, born and raised.
Yep.
And we used to always joke, I grew up in Slough and had lots of Indian friends, and it was always kind of the joke that the Indians and Irish were the same. It was all about hard work,
It starts with
family, education.
Yep.
We love our community. And that's what reform is generally. It's about rewarding the hard work. We want our kids to be well educated. We want to make sure that they have a good future. We want, like, I'm going to stereotype Indians here. I'm going to say, generally speaking, they're quite an entrepreneurial group of people.
We work.
You work.
We don't want benefits. We work.
You work, but you want to work for yourselves and, like, family businesses. And if you look at Labour and Tories, they don't care about small businesses. They serve the large companies. They serve, like, the superstores rather than the corner store, like shop.
Yeah.
They want to tax everyone to high heaven.
Yeah.
Like, they want you to go to work to fund other people. And that's not right, not fair. And reform want to change that.
And the reason why I asked is most of the Indian community, sometimes, I don't know why, mixed reactions. Some say, oh, reform is the one what we are going to pick. Some say, are they not right wing, like, totally right party? Some say, are they very strict on immigration? Because we are not illegal immigrants and we are here. We are on permanent residency, but we haven't picked the British citizenship yet because we don't want to lose Indian citizenship, but because we struggled hard, did a lot of hard work to reach here to get our indefinite leave to remain. So they're just worried, like, is reform going to create any kind of trouble to us? And is reform against the legal migration? That is one of the main questions.
Yeah, no, it's fair enough. So I think in terms of right wing, we're not right wing. We probably hold views which were normal in the 90s. So everyone seems to have shifted left. So if you look at, like, the Lib Dems, majority of Labour, the Green Party, just this year, they voted to allow women to abort their children all the way up to 9 months. Basically, 20, 30 years ago, that would disgust most people. We are where everyone was 20, 30 years ago.
Okay.
We're not a right-wing party. We are probably what most people would have historically said was quite not socially, just conservative. We want the UK to remain the UK, and we're proud of the UK. And we don't want the UK to kind of lose its history. And I don't think a lot of the Indians who come over here wanted to lose this history. My experience of Indians is, generally speaking, they are probably more nationalist than most English people are.
We can say that. So I just want to add, why not reform take, okay, we are right, but right is nationalistic, being nationalistic from our perspective, not the right wing, but right and wrong. Nationalistic, you love your nation, you're right.
Well, I think Nigel Farage said it. We're not far right, we're just right.
Okay.
And
that's right.
Just right, yeah. But even if you look at, like, what would be considered, we're conservative, like, in a lot of ways. Socially conservative. We want the UK to remain proud of its history and to remember its history. A lot of what we take for granted, or we think, and by we I mean, like, British people, kind of think is the norm, isn't the norm. It's British. So the ability to worship who you want, the ability to speak freely in public, which seems to be slowly being curtailed, the ability to go visit places and go around the world, that is not the norm for a lot of people. Like most countries, you can't stand up and criticize the government. And a lot of people seem to think, oh, it's just the standard and the norm. It's like, no, it's something that's come from kind of our Christian foundation, the idea that everyone's an individual. No state is bigger than an individual. Everyone has the right to freedom of expression. Even the right to kind of worship whatever God you want from a Christian point of view is due to the idea that you have the right of free will. So you shouldn't be forced to worship a certain God in a certain way. It should be down to you to kind of
something personal.
Whole idea of the immigration and like trying to kick people out. It's like that's not what reform's about. What it is about is trying to make the system fairer. So if someone's breaking in, they should not have priority over someone like you who has worked hard, saved up, like broke their back to get a qualification to be able to come over here. They shouldn't be jumping the queue. There's a difference between people who come over and contribute to society and those who don't. So I don't know the specific stats, but of the people who've come over in the last like 3 years, I think it's roughly around 40% of people straight onto benefits.
Yeah, they're illegal. They're mostly.
But that's different to someone who comes over, contributes, loves Britain, has come here because they want to experience Britain.
They're giving something to the country because the economy runs on the taxes. So the demography is changing. The British demography is changing. As how you feel insecure, it's the same with the Indian diaspora as well. We do feel the same insecurity here as well. Because around 10 years ago, going to London was not a problem for us, but now we think twice, shall we go? It's like, it's a changing country. We are in the transition.
I obviously not reform. This is personal view. I think you have the same worries a lot of ordinary working British people have around kind of like the rise of Islamization, the kind of like kowtowing and bowing to it. I'd say a lot of Indians understand Islam a lot better than British. There's kind of like a real ignorance in Britain to kind of other cultures in a way. Like I said before, they don't understand that what's normal elsewhere is not normal here.
Mix and match that doesn't work for them.
If you've been here 15, 20 years, you can see the shift. The idea, like, you used to be able to go to London and feel absolutely safe. Now you can't. You used to like be able to allow your kids to walk into like the streets and be fine with them walking down the park. Now you don't. Where I grew up in Langley, just down the road, there used to be a bowling alley and used to be fined. Like basically in Colnbrook, everyone went there.
Okay.
And you could go there as a kid, teenager, no problem. I would not allow my teenage daughter to go there now because you've got a big migrant hotel across the road.
Yeah.
And
I've seen recently there was a very unfortunate incident. Two minor illegal migrants, basically, from Afghanistan.
Yeah. So
hope you have seen the news that there was a unfortunate event. It's a 15 years girl who got raped by two Afghan illegal immigrants, basically, who came in as asylum seekers, but basically,
but they broke into the country, haven't they?
Are we not bringing the criminals, hardcore criminals into this country?
We are. But we're also doing worse than that. We're kind of trying to justify it as if it's okay. It's like this false kind of being kind. It's like, okay, well, we've let these men come in because they don't have anywhere to go. It's like, okay, but you're sacrificing. You're literally allowing them to come in and rape and murder. And they don't care for your culture. Like they're over here economically, or they're here because they've been sent here as a threat. And there's Putin who said he was going to do it. The Iranians said they were going to send migrants over. And there's just this kind of complete blind eye to it. It's almost like
they're all young, young and strong and active people, basically.
Yeah, and there will be people coming over here to cause damage, and they will be doing it as part of,
because you have your task of working, I have my task of working and then feeding my family, but they have their own task with the support of the benefits from the government. So are we not giving some, like, heart into their hands and then expecting them not crushing it?
Again, this is another one that really annoys me, because you got people like the Greens and the Lib Dems will be like, oh, these are poor people, they need help, and we need to like open our arms to them. It was like, well, what we used to do, and what we do still have, is asylum camps and refugee camps around like war zones and stuff like that. And it used to be you go and help the women and children, and you'd give priority to those who went through the camps and like did it properly. Now it's like, well, if you can somehow find £5,000-6,000 to jump on a boat and come over here, you're safe.
Yeah,
you're free.
Yeah,
and
you get everything practically. You get hotel for some until you get settled down in this country. A free hotel, very good luxurious hotels, basically, not just normal hotel, and then free food, free residency, and then once you gone through the legal process, you get your house as well, 2-bedroom or 3-bedroom house based on how many people are there. It's too hard for me. I'm in this country since maybe around 16 years now, but I had to come to this particular situation, this position. I did a lot of hard work, okay? But are we giving them a free service to come and then take over?
And my personal view is, they broke into the country. They've shown no respect to your laws or borders.
Yeah. What is the plan? What is the plan? Reform got, because they're not a small number. They're in hundreds of thousands, basically, maybe close to 1 million.
Yeah. Well, Reform's plan is anyone who's here illegally will be removed.
So where? Because if they say that they, for example, someone came from Syria, someone came from Afghanistan, they don't have any documentation.
Yeah, well, that's a fair point. There's going to be a lot of people who we don't know. Everyone's coming in and having to put down where they come from, so they might not have documentation. I remember Lee Anderson joking about the fact that and it was a joke, but with a point, which is you got Albanians coming here and paying £5,000 to come over on a boat when they could have flown here for £38 by Wizz Air. But there's an element of, we know where they've come from, and we will know where nearly all of them come from. They will have to go back.
Okay.
So it's either a case of they go willingly or they don't. And that's just going to be a fact of it. There's going to be some people who are going to resist. But also to countries where they're deemed unsafe or where it's no obvious treaty, we're going to have to come up with a way to use them. I know Farage talked about like refusing trade with them or visa access and stuff like that. There's just going to have to be a way. There's no way we can just keep allowing people to break in, not respect your rule. Like, you wouldn't let someone just break into your house and...
That's what's happening now. That's what I'm worried as well. I'm just thinking like, is it country going to be the same after 2-3 years? Because the rate of demography is changing and the rate of local population is going down. It's going to be a serious issue down the line.
We've got this weird situation, haven't we, where like a lot of English people can't afford to have kids because they can't get the housing or they can't like physically afford to have more than like 1 or 2 children. And then you've got families or certain people who might have 2 or 3 wives, 5 different houses, like 5 different kids of each in massive houses, claiming benefits galore, and they've come over here, not worked, not done anything. I know I've got friends who have said they would love to have had more kids, and they just can't afford to.
But to do this, the law should allow as well, right? Because in the current British law, anyone coming on the asylum, anyone who boats onto this land, they will be given all the facilities. If they can't afford, until they can afford, they will be given all the
that's not the law, is it? Because if I lose my job and and can't afford to pay for my house, the government isn't going to give me the same stuff they're giving to them. So they got priority healthcare, priority dental. They're giving paying for.
I don't have dental. I pay a lot for the dentist. You know?
They're giving some of them quite a large number driving lessons. They've paid to take some on family days out. Like, I've never had anything like that from the government. Like, if I was late on council tax, you'd get an angry letter through, wouldn't you?
Is that going to be the first priority for reform? Is that the first priority? I want to know the priority list of reform, like what areas reform want to have.
So Zia
reform
Yusuf,
starts from.
So Zia Yusuf said the first call Nigel Farage would make if he was Prime Minister would be to the head of the Navy to say no ship or boat crosses the channel.
Steve was mentioning about dragging them back to where they come from.
Well, easy said than done, isn't it? I like there's going to be a humane side to it as well, but there has to be also a reality check for a lot of people, which is a lot of people have come here to freeload off people. The British populace has kind of turned soft in a lot of ways, and it feels like it's changed a bit in the last few years. Whereas, like, there was this element of taking it on the chin, and even British phrases have just changed. So, like, the idea of a stiff upper lip, it's like almost like you take it and you just don't react. It was like, no, that's not what it used to mean. It used to mean, like, maybe take the emotion out and, like.
Do you know how many months normally it will take for a asylum seeker who came in and then legally be? Because see, we are in Britain. Anyone from the Commonwealth country can vote here. It's not just the British who vote in the. Exactly. So, is the other parties trying to change the demographics so that they can safeguard their vote bank and not considering country at all in their decisions, and then being more party specific than the nation specific?
I think, especially when it comes to importing votes, Labour are particularly good and the Tories were quite good. I think realistically, a lot of the other parties might not think, like, they're not really. I don't think that's their target audience. Like, I think Lib Dems, I think countryside, white middle class. I think Greens aiming for students and kind of retired old ex-teachers and scientists and stuff like that who mean well but haven't really thought through what they're trying to say. I really do not like the idea that anyone comes in and gets a vote straight away. I kind of get it back when it was kind of set up. So 1940s, 1950s, Indian, South Africans, Caribbean, Irish who were coming over here, understood empire and been part of, like, the British system. They were British. They were born and raised British. So obviously they were different. Like, the idea that you'd say to an Irish person in the island next door or a Scottish person that they're the same as an English, not the same. But British kind of is like kind of a more encompassing thing. So if you've born and raised and contributed to Britain for 20, 30 years, it made sense that if you come over from India that you'd have the right to vote in the same way.
Yeah.
It's not the same world.
So in India, I'm telling you, if you are a citizen of the country, then only can vote. Or can elect someone who is going to rule the country. Non-resident of India, okay, I still be considered as a overseas citizen of India.
Yep.
Okay, but I'm not the citizen of India. But because I have already become British citizen, so you have to leave or you have to get off from your Indian citizenship. So, but still India considers as a overseas citizen. You can work and you can invest or you can go for a residential property. Okay, you can buy residential property. But two things you can't do are, one is participating in the elections.
Yep.
And second is buying the farmlands. The rest they can do. Why not Britain have and is reform planning to make that particular change where not everyone getting into this country and then participating in the elections and then say, okay, he's my prime minister, he's going to be my prime minister.
I don't know if it's in the plans. It should be. I think we'd have very different elections, and we'd probably Labour would never get a vote in again.
Because it was too weird for me when I came to this country.
Yeah.
Then your credit history won't go on. Then my first question was, oh, I'm not British. Am I allowed to vote? And I said, no, yeah, you can, because you are from a Commonwealth country. Yeah. I felt weird, and it's unfair in practical.
Yeah, I agree. And you qualify. So our country is a bit weird in that you can qualify through your heritage as well. So, for example, technically Donald Trump could run to be prime minister of this country.
Okay.
He's never lived it.
Because his
ancestry is like he's got Scottish in him.
Got it.
Whereas in America, for example, unless you're born there, you are not allowed to run. I don't know. England, Britain seems to be kind of lost in itself, and it seems to have completely lost what it stands for, who it is, why it is, and seems to have. But I think we should get rid of non-British citizens voting.
Okay, and I have a request. I don't know whether you can pass on this because this is from many like me.
Yeah.
Okay. See. The British economy is not doing exactly the same as how it was some time ago, yeah. Now, though my income has been gone a little bit higher than 5 years ago, but my outgoing is more now because 5 years ago, I was paying tax somewhere 33. Now I pay close to 40%.
Yeah.
Now, paying of the tax has gone up, but the services are not gone up. So, is reform thinking on that particular perspective, like because the taxpayer will be given some kind of priority rather than the people who are getting benefits?
Yes.
Because I myself strongly feel, oh, okay, I'm doing a lot of hard work, not for me, but someone else. Because at the end of the month, though my salary has gone up, my taxes are gone up, my expenses are gone up, and then I'm at the end of the month, I'm being empty pockets.
You're poorer.
Without a saving. Yeah. I'm getting poorer.
This is what the whole kind of big thing about Rachel from accounts and her budget about like not freezing the income tax thresholds. They call it it's fiscal drag. So basically everything goes up with inflation. Your pay included. But because the income levels aren't going with them or tax thresholds, you automatically get dragged in to like higher bands of tax. Reform as a policy, Nigel Farage talked about this a lot, about how it makes no sense that we tax even at a lower rate, like quite a lot, because there's no incentive to go back to work. So we need to stop giving out benefits to people who don't need them. If you can work, you should work. Like, non-reform. Kemi Badenoch recently said that basically it's kind of like an unchristian thing to not be allowed to not get to a point where people who can help themselves are allowed to help themselves. I think a lot of people understand that they're actually better off on benefits than they are working, which you get an element of, oh, you're lazy or you're useless, and like, but you've also got the element of, do you know what? I've got like 3 kids. Like, I could go to work, but actually I've got more money and I've got more time to spend with my kids. Why would I work? And I get that, but from a lower, Farage said basically lowest threshold would be £20,000. So no one would pay tax on the first £20,000.
That should be the right way,
And then they'd look at the others. I don't know the policy, so I don't want to misquote it. But they know it's unfair. We know it's unfair. Like, it is going to change under reform.
Good. I'm coming to the Ukraine war.
Yep.
Well, maybe it's just a personal opinion I want to know. I think we have already spent so much on the war. Okay. And as a citizen, I'm not feeling so great. Not we are supporting Ukraine,
Yeah.
but what my current financial situation is, because I'm not doing so great.
Yeah.
At the end of the month, I'm going into debt. Okay, kind of. Okay, because my savings are going down, because I used to have some savings apart from my salary and whatever my income. I'm basically spending more than my income. So I'm not borrowing the banks yet, because I do have some savings done since so many years. Now, because of the war, because of the benefits, because of so many of these things, my current living standard has gone down. Okay, and I hope this will be the same case for many of the British. So, are we going to reduce our footprint in directly involving in the sponsoring of the war?
So my living standard's gone down. The money I've got in the bank and what I've got left over has gone down as well. But a lot of it has come down to the fact that being dragged into different rates of tax and paying more despite not really earning more.
Yeah.
The cost of everything's gone up because net zero's gone crazy.
Yeah.
There's like we're paying for more and more benefits. We've been asked to pay more and more tax. Like here locally, council tax has gone up. We're not getting more for it. There's more to it than just being involved in a war.
What is the stand of the party on this particular this thing? Like, are they going to stop supporting the war in Ukraine? Because see,
I don't really know, but if you think from a historic point of view and resources point of view, what we got in Ukraine is it's basically a barrier between us, the West, and kind of the Russian way of thinking. And it's a very different way of thinking. But in Ukraine is massively resourceful as a country for rare metals, for wheat. Like all the wheat prices rocketed when the grain got blocked.
So when we are all I don't know, because this always
ending the war would be the best thing for everyone.
Yeah.
But
West say, okay, you don't need to be part of the Europe. And you don't need to be part of NATO. The war will stop in the next day, right?
No. So if you look back at Putin's speeches all the way back to when he became leader, he talked about getting back. I'm trying to think what they called it, New Russia or Red Russia. It was it's an area of Ukraine, Crimea, which Peter the Great conquered, and he basically said should never have been signed away to Ukraine, should never have been given away. It was part of Russia before Ukraine was a country. This is his way of thinking, and they were always going to try to take it back.
But again, that is beyond our limit whether we can reach out, because our point is, okay, if the war stops, then at least some prices might go down, and then we can save some money. So let us come to the domestic part.
Yep.
Okay. It made me very happy. I don't know whether who did that. Near the Didcot Parkway Station. Now I see so many national flags.
Yep.
I really love it, because I'm sick of looking into flags, some which I don't want to see, and then that too not where I live. Okay.
Yep.
Because I do want to. I say everyone should hold a national flag at their home or on their car display, and then show your nationalist tag. Okay. But when these flags were there, one fine night I can see them all. They made my heart so feel happy. Hope it's not Reform who did that.
No, so it's a group of men who set up an operation called Operation Colours.
Yeah.
Will raise the colours, and they've basically been going around area by area, raising flags and putting them up. But it's weird. If you've got Indian audiences, like who's going to listen to this back in India, like they will not understand the controversy around sticking up your national flag. So
no, it's weird for them.
Yeah, so in England, you put up an England flag, and everyone calls you racist, and it's like, why? And it's almost like there's a group of people who are trying to reclaim it as, I don't care about politics. We, at the very least, we're all British. Like if you're here, you're British. One thing actually,
I'm going to keep a half Briton and half Indian, like both flags together, so that I want to have something like that. I'm planning for an art so that I can keep both British flag and India as well, because we call this is my karma bhumi, which means which gave me life.
Yeah.
Okay, working, because I'm working. This country is feeding me, and then my mother nation. Okay, so I want to respect both the countries in the same equal levels. So I'll keep both the flags here sometime.
Yeah.
See, I don't have any problem with any other country, guys, but they should be nationalistic, okay? Because they don't love the British flag, okay?
No, when I grew up, like I could talk to any Indian, like no problem. They were very much, and I've heard you say it a couple of times. It's like our country. It's you're here. It's ours.
I'm British now. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
where it's not quite the same when you talk to different people from different cultures.
Yeah. So basically, I have noticed specifically from Indians. There is a saying that be a Roman in Rome.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the motto what Indians normally carry. Okay, and Indians always feel secure with the rights. When I say right wing, not that right wing, Indians always feel secure with the rights.
Yeah.
Not with the lefts or wrongs. Okay, so that's the thing. And before we close, okay, I have one question to ask you very specifically about the agenda of the Reform UK. Like, okay, for example, we know that in 3 years' time, Reform is going to be forming the government.
Hopefully less.
Hopefully, I'm very much yeah. I don't know how that is possible. I will ask you that one now.
Yeah.
But I'm expecting. I'm optimistic that the next general election. I don't say 3 years. The next general election, Reform will be forming the government, and how they can change the country in 3 steps, and what are the top 3 priorities going to be from Reform?
So
in a very short,
Yep. I think Reform have learned very quickly. Reform have learned a lot from Trump. How to be ready. Trump weren't ready when he first went in. The second time he went in, he was extremely ready. He had all the right people in place. The first time he went in, he didn't know who did what where. Reform have learned from him. So all the think tanks are engaged fully now. Policy writing is there. They're trying to get to a point where, like, day one, they can pass laws. They're not going to go in and go, oh, we've never done this before. It's going to be, we're here to make a difference. We're going to do a difference straight away. We're going to do what we've said we're going to do.
Yeah.
Biggest difference is it's going to be economy. It's going to be trying to basically allow people to create businesses. Don't punish people for employing or working for themselves. We want to lower taxation. So we want people who earn money to keep more of it. And we want to change the welfare system. So if you're not contributing, you don't get out the same way. So if you work 60 hours a week, you should not be worse off than if you don't work at all. It makes no sense to anyone, and it's fundamentally unfair. In terms of immigration, we want to kind of almost, we want to slow it down. Like we realistically, we've imported so many people that the system just can't cope.
Got it.
So it's no surprise that you import basically millions of people, build £100,000 houses, and the house prices go up. It's not rocket science as to why. So we kind of need to slow immigration down, and we need to allow the country to catch up, to build the houses, to build the schools, to get the NHS into a place where we can actually serve everyone. And then when it comes to like law and order, I think no one feels anywhere near as safe as they used
You
to.
come to the point because I was thinking like, are you going to tell anything about the law and order and then the law current system?
Yeah, but I think law and order, like we want our kids to be able to go to the park and not live in fear. We want to be able to walk in London, like go for a show, and be able to walk back to the train station without thinking someone's going to try and nab your watch. So we plan to basically, if you break laws, you will do the sentence. I know Anne Widdecombe is in charge of the policies around like the prisons and stuff, and she in the 90s when she was working for the Tories, they went and got prison ships because the idea was
What is prison ship?
literally they hired from America big ships. They were basically giant jails.
Prison ship. Okay, it was basically a ship in the somewhere in the ocean somewhere, and then keep them.
Yes,
it's a good idea actually.
Just because she went like just because you have more people committing crime and you don't.
Why not have a third place like what Rishi Sunak was planning to have? See, you update the laws.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, who already came into this country living illegally or taking asylum or whatever, why not move them to some other country?
So we talked about that, but I'm talking about just prisoners in general.
Okay.
Like,
don't
let a rapist out earlier because like someone done a naughty tweet.
They're
your feelings.
They're getting bailed very easily now because
so Hugh Edwards got the same sentence for having pictures of young children on his phone as Joey Barton got for calling someone a nonce. So it's like, okay, well, calling someone a paedophile is now effectively the same sentence as being a paedophile. Like, it makes no sense. But if we don't want to let prisoners out, if you've committed a crime, do the time. Like, just because there's
so no more arrests like who freedom of speech.
No. We want freedom of speech.
Very specific about the crime, and then which are not required for the society.
Yeah, so we want to get rid of the Human Rights Act.
Yep.
So we want to come out of that.
Super.
It doesn't serve us anymore.
Sounds good.
It was made for a certain time, certain place, and we're out of that. We want to bring in a new Bill of Rights.
Yep.
That basically still protects our rights. So we understand that if we're taking something away, we need to make sure that the checks are there.
Yeah.
So probably similar to like the American, like protect free speech, protect your rights to do certain stuff.
Yeah.
The specifics of everything, I don't know. I'm not privy. I'm not that high up in any way, shape, or form. But what we want to do is
because I have seen that Parliament there was a discussion going on blasphemy laws to be introduced in this country because we want a freedom of speech. Okay, the reason why I'm here because it's a free country.
But this would probably sound crazy to some people in India, but we've had people arrested for praying in their head outside abortion clinics or within a boundary near abortion clinics. We throw in prison now people who and arrest people for preaching on the street Christianity. But if an imam wants to go say and scream and shout, and like you had one in Birmingham, like a Muslim man talking about like freely going over and slitting the throats of all the nationalist protesters, it's like nothing. And blasphemy laws. I'm Catholic, born and raised. Maybe not Catholic, but still Christian. Still like believe, and everything about what they're talking about makes no sense to me because the way I'm raised is different to a way a lot of like Muslims are raised. I should be allowed to argue it, but there's definitely a fear of the Muslim community in this country that shouldn't be there.
Okay,
because it's almost like, well, at least we've got people who kind of understand the two sides of the argument and kind of understand the historical context to a lot of it. Like, there's a reason Sikhs are so active.
So Sikh, because they're very clear. See, when it comes to Hindu, it's basically a peace loving. Okay, not the other peace loving. Okay, it's basically live your life.
Yep.
Okay, don't go and disturb anyone else. Hindu is by blood is a reformer because they accept reform. So they accept reforming their own selves.
Yep.
That's what the seekers, they are seekers basically. So again, I don't want to go on that particular area. We will have one discussion.
No, but it's a lot of Englishmen understand.
But they keep themselves away from the trouble.
Yeah.
Like what Britain is currently doing. They think that they are keeping the trouble away, but they're not looking in the trouble is expanding, and at a particular point in time, you don't have a place to run.
Actually, it's more loving to challenge. Like it won't. And like you said, the trouble's expanding because actually the bad behavior is being ignored and it's not being challenged and it's not being questioned.
Through the current law, not by having any specific religious laws, because law should not be religious. That's what I say. Religion should be part separate individual, not
like the protection to be able to speak your mind freely and debate and aggressively debate is almost like a British export. Like a lot of other countries, you express your opinion, you get killed for it, and everyone goes.
Audience who are watching, maybe they wake up from their strong sleep and then realize what's coming to their end. I'm not saying about any specific religion, but we are allowing hardcore criminals to this country, and we don't know, because I have seen a plane full of people coming in from Afghanistan. I don't have any problem with Afghanistan. If you have a skill, then come in a right way, come in a legal route.
So my old next door neighbour was Afghani.
Yeah.
Could not meet a nicer guy and his wife. Like they were so lovely. That doesn't take away from the fact that asylum seekers have been accused or convicted of sexual assault. That's one in 50. You're there going, come on, like we can pretend there's no cultural differences between people, but there are.
Yeah. So before we close, because as this podcast is mainly targeting the Indian diaspora, because the agenda of the channel is not political, but to bring in some truth behind on current misconceptions. But I want you to give a call to all Indians who are watching and let them know why should they be considering reform in their next general elections.
Well, if you want a political party who are going to put family, community, your country at the forefront of all their decision makings, then we're the only party who wants to do it. We are open to everyone. We actually would like as many people as possible to get involved. So if you can and you want to do your bit for your family, country, community, step forward and join. Like, we're not just asking for people to turn up and vote. We actually would like volunteers to be active in it, so you can help shape what's going on locally and like nationally.
And become a member.
Sign up. They got like a newsletter. So if you don't want to fully sign up, you can sign up to see all the updates.
I prefer them to become members because it will become bigger and bigger community.
I agree, but if you still just want to fit in, take the
Thanks, Kieran. Thanks today, and it's a very good dialogue with you. And hope we'll catch up again for other topic.
Whenever you want me, I'm just around the corner.
Thanks all.
Thank you.
Keep watching us, and then don't forget to subscribe. Thank you.